So over at Channer Farms near Amersham, and we're going to be looking at the two different Horsch points. So you'll see that they're running the MT, and we'll look at how the points wear on there. Now you'll see here you've got a full spread of tungsten right the way across the tip, and this lips round underneath. You've then got tungsten up to the bolt holes, and then hard facing all the way up to that piece of tungsten, and then hard facing all the way up that face. Now that's a very, very good point when you're not going terribly deep or you're in good hard wearing soils. But if you're in some really nasty ground, and I'd describe this as about as hard wearing as you can get, you can see these stones and flints, they're pretty much everywhere. You really want to be running this point. So this has got exactly the same bottom. You've got the tungsten spanning the bottom, the wraparound tungsten all the way to the very top, well, 2/3 of the way through. So it spans all the way up to the bolt holes, around the bolt holes, through the middle of the bolt holes, and then all the way to the top. It also has the hard facing up to the bolt holes at the bottom. So that is a little bit more money, but it can really save you some time and also money when you're in ground such as this. So what we've got here over at Channer Farms is the older style point. So we've got 3 knuckles on the front, and then we have the tungsten running up the sides here, bracing across and then going all the way across to about 2/3 of the way up the point. This is done very well for us, but what you'll see is that this channels out in the middle. And what we've had in extreme conditions is that this, in really stony ground similar to this knuckle can get damaged, and then what would happen is it eats out right the way through the middle. So you'll see now what we offer is a tungsten right the way across. So there's, rather than the 3 knuckle, we've just got 2 that brace right the way across, and this lips back under, and then what we've got is this tungsten going right the way across, so there's no channeling out through the middle, and that's really allowed this to hold up incredibly well. So if you're in abrasive ground, this is an incredibly good point. It outlasts most of the points that are on the market, and you'll see that that does a cracking job in these really tough conditions. So here we have another option. This is a really good point, but you can see that this went on at exactly the same time as the other point we've just shown, and this is starting to nip in here. You can see from the nature of the ground that this is incredibly abrasive. So for channers, they would much prefer the tungsten that goes all the way across.